Have your attention. We have a quorum, and we are going to get started. We've got a lot of bills to cover very quickly. We're going to move with a prayer. Please bow your heads. Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for this great weekend. Please give us your wisdom and discernment as we do your business. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. This meeting of the Senate Public Safety Committee is called to order. First bill on the calendar is going to be Senate Bill 291. Our Majority Leader, Steve Gooch.
Good morning. This bill was voted on in this great committee last year in the Senate. It went over to the House, got to the floor in the final hours of the night, and they ran out of time. It didn't pass. It's America First license plate, and I believe, Mr. Chairman, you've added some language to it as well to make it even better.
Yep, and there's a second license plate on there for organ donors saves lives.
It sounds like a great bill and a great pair.
I got a motion to pass from Senator Beard, and I got a second from Senator Robertson. Any other discussion? I'll see none.
We appreciate the Majority Leader's pandering.
That's great. All those in favor, please say aye. All opposed, please say no. Passed unanimously. Thank you, Mr.
Great
Leader.
to pander together.
Very good. All right, next bill, Senate Bill 264, Emergency Management, creation of a Georgia Resilience Office for the state, and that is, pull that up here, 264. That's not in order here. All right. I think this is Goodman's, isn't it?
I'm right here.
Oh, you're right.
Oh.
Well, a rascal snuck right in on us.
He's like a ninja.
All right. Well, with that in mind, Senator Goodman, very quickly.
Yes, sir. 264 creates the Georgia Resilience Office under GEMA, and basically, you know what we all went through with the hurricane, and especially in my district, I've seen where we could use more coordination, especially in our rural counties versus some of my more populated counties that have more resources with EMA. This is going to create an office within GEMA that is going to be able to work with the local governments as well with federal governments. There's 18 other states that have a resilience office, or especially along the coast where we're having all these hurricanes. That's what this bill is for, is to try to help be better prepared for disasters when they come.
Thank you, Senator. I understand this is a big push from both the Lieutenant Governor's office as well. And I know my friends in GEMA in the back of the room give me a thumbs up that you like this bill. Where'd you go? You guys walk outside? Oh, no?
Yeah, I was.
A longer conversation about this bill? You got 2 minutes. Go to the podium real quick.
Good morning. My name is Anna Burton. I'm General Counsel for GEMA Homeland Security. We really support the effort to increase our resiliency in the state. We just wanted to kind of have more of a dialogue about what this office would look like. Under the governor's office, we know that they don't want to build more government, so just kind of under that idea is what we're trying to limit, but trying to increase resiliency at the same time.
So let me just respond to that. When we had the hurricane the last time, and we were talking, we had no electricity, we had no internet. My small counties, they didn't have satellite phones, they didn't have Starlinks. I've seen a lot of my own experiences where I think if we can bring together the interested partners, the people like the Forestry Commission that are clearing the roads, the utilities, all the different interested parties that are helping with creating this to be better prepared. It's just like I had, and you tell me when my time's up, and
Your time's up.
Okay, all right. I could talk about this for a while, but we need to keep the bill alive, so.
Yeah, this is what I'm going to ask you all to do. I thought that this meeting had already taken place. That was my understanding. Clearly, some more discussion needs to. We're going to pass this bill out of committee this morning. It still has to go to the rules before it gets to the Senate floor. So I'm going to ask, if you would, to please meet with Senator Goodman and other folks on this side to work out any questions or differences we have prior to that time.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. All right. Any other discussion? Seeing none, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do pass by Senator Payne, a second by Senator Goodman. Further discussion, seeing none. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, please say no. Passed unanimously. Congratulations. All right, Senator Anderson. I do not see him in the room yet. Let's go ahead to Senate Bill 216. Where is Senator Parent? Do not see her yet. Okay. please.
I did sign this if you wanted me to.
Let's give him just a minute to come back. We'll come back to him. All right. Senate Bill 282, our very own Senator Bearden. Why don't you talk to us about Senate Bill 282, please?
We will be brief. This is a joint study committee to make sure that we can find the proper funding for the NetGen 911 system.
Very important task.
Yep.
Thank you for doing this important study committee. Jima's given us a thumbs up in the back. Discussion from committee members? Seeing none, what's the pleasure of the committee?
Motion do pass.
Motion to pass from the Vice Chairman, second from Senator Goodman. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. Passes unanimously. Well done, Senator. All right, Senator Burns, Senate Bill 75, if you'd come on up. And while he does, I want to thank Vice Chairman for chairing the subcommittee on this. The notes from that should be in recommendations in this folder at some point. And what we did is the chairman was very kind, Burns, of bringing his bill kind of down to his original version to keep this moving. The importance of having it, and I'm going to let you just briefly talk about what those two items are that you're focusing on. It is important to note there are a couple bills in the House, one of them coming from Chairman Alan Powell now as well. So this is good to keep the discussion moving back and forth on both bills. Senator Burns, please.
Thank you much. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for the committee. I appreciate, again, Senator Robertson and Senator Bearden and the subcommittee. This bill does refocus on the two original intents, and the two original intents was hours of enforcement and warning signage. We acknowledge that there are certain other issues that need to be addressed, but those issues are not included any longer in this bill. I'll point out a couple of quick things. On line 19, we define school zone. On line 23, we define school zone speed limit. And on line 26, we define the hours of operation. And this is in conjunction with DOT and Georgia Department of Public Safety. Right now, the hours of operation, this is essentially the Decatur model. It's 1 hour twice a day at the discretion of the school. And then Section 2 deals with signage. In that area, they shall erect a sign at a half-mile marker or as closely as possible there too, depending upon the jurisdiction. So if you look at lines 32, lines 41, lines 48, I think the most important thing in lines 48 is the sign will provide an accurate depiction of the speed of the individual, of the vehicle. We have to comply with certain federal requirements, and that's why the yellow flashing signs on 52 are there. At the end of the day, this was negotiated with DOT and Georgia Department of Public Safety, and it pares this bill back down to its original intent, which was hours of operation and warning signage. And as the chairman pointed out, this is an attempt to keep this bill alive so we can continue the discussion. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Pleasure of the committee.
Make a motion to pass.
I got a motion to pass. I got a second from Senator Wicks for the discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3. Opposed? 2, 3 to 2. Passes. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you very much.
All right, moving on. We're going to come back to Senator Parent. We've got Senate Resolution 216. If you would come forward, please.
Great, thank you.
And Veronica, why don't you
Mr.
come
Chairman.
forward as well, please? You can go to the next
And
witness
members of
mic.
the committee. Hey, Rose. Apologies that you had to skip me earlier. I am here to present SR 216, which is a study committee about our laws and how they relate to vulnerable roadway users, which we are defining as individuals that are sort of not in your traditional car or truck. And I've done some work on this in the past, and I do want Ms. Veronica Watts to, I know we don't have a ton of time, so I do want her to tell her story, but just very briefly, we have a high number of fatalities here in Georgia, and our laws do, I think, need some more consideration in that regard. This topic is near and dear to my heart due to I've had 2 family members, while pedestrians, be hit who will require care for the rest of their lives and never, unfortunately, be the same. So I think it's good to continue some of the progress we've made earlier talking about this. But, Mr. Chairman, if it is all right with you, we'll hear from Ms. Watts.
Chairman, members of the committee, thank you so much for hearing me today. If you don't already know me as a lobbyist, I'm Veronica Watts, and in February of 2024, I was hit by a vehicle while crossing North Avenue. I went up on the windshield, smashed my head into the windshield, was thrown almost 40 feet. I spent 5 days, almost 5 days, in the ICU, and then I was in and out of a complex concussion clinic, physical therapy, and emotional therapy, as you can imagine, for almost 4 months. And after this, I really started to research everything pedestrian, vulnerable roadway safety user in Georgia. And I came to 3 key components that are necessary for pedestrian safety in Georgia. The first one being infrastructure. If you're not aware of North Avenue, it's a 4-lane road, and at this particular crosswalk, there's a median in the middle, and it's right over a hill. So I waited patiently for the multiple cars that sped past me, made it to the middle median, and then finally had a car stop. Due to the fact that it's right over a hill, all of these other cars stopped, obstructing my view, but I had the right of way, and I began to pass. Next thing I knew, the only thing that I had time to do was scream before I was hit. In this case, a speed bump would have helped enforce the speed as she was going over the speed limit, or an overhead pedestrian light could have potentially helped this not happen to me. Secondly was the crash report. I was put down as a minor injury. However, as I mentioned, I was in and out of hospitals for 4 months, but I also had broken teeth, a broken nose in multiple places, a contusion on my skull, a contusion on my spine, and open wounds all over my face and body. Not only that, but the most important part where it mentions that the ambulance brought me to Grady ICU was left blank, so it never was escalated to the DA's office. Which brings me to my third point, the Traffic Violations Bureau, which hasn't been updated since the 1950s. In this case, she was given a $265 fine for failure to yield and walked away, whereas I was taken away on a stretcher where I ultimately ended up stopping breathing in the ambulance. And in this case, you can pay these bills online, so she is still out there driving right now, which is something to consider. Another thing with that, if they bond over to state court, which she knew to do because she was a repeat offender, she had 9 counts on her record, one of them driving on a suspended license. So there is a possibility that my case may never make it to court, as there is 2 to 3 years of backlog, or 2 to 3 years from now, I'm going to have to sit in front of another group and talk about one of the most traumatic days of my life. So this all goes to say there's a lot that needs to be done in review of vulnerable roadway users. I think that it will better our society if we can walk outside or bike outside without fear, and I know that there's a lot of people in here in support of this resolution. If you could just raise your hand if you're here in support. Thank you so much. And I also wanted to mention that Propel ATL and I, in just over a day and a half, got almost 400 signatures from Georgians all over the state in support of this resolution. So thank you so much for considering, and also the commitment of this committee. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Questions of committee members? All right, seeing none. Thank you, Senator Parent, for bringing the substitute. Obviously, the President of the Senate, as he always does, will name the members in accordance with the resolution as outlined. Looking at some friends, see if there's a motion.
Motion.
Motion do pass from Senator Wicks. I've got a second from Senator Jones. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed. Passes unanimously. Congratulations. Best of luck in the Rules Committee. All right. Moving right along, and while I do not see Senator Anderson, oh, there he is. He walked right in, snuck by us. We were going to have Senator Payne have to present your bill for you, but we're glad to see you, Senator Anderson. Come on down to Senate Bill 293, which is in your folders.
Don't talk us out of it.
Yeah, don't talk us out of it. That's right. All right, go ahead, Senator.
Mr. Chairman, thank you.
Pull that microphone over to you if you don't mind, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, committee members, I present to you Senate Bill 293, and it's a very simple bill. It's for our great veterans that has protected our lives. so we can live in a free country, in a safe country. And all it does is it allows them to have up to 4 tags. And it's just the paying for the tag, the $25 tag and that's all it is.
And
A lot of people, a lot of them have white spouses, and some of them have children, some of them have a spare vehicle. So all it is it just makes it where they can get up to 4 free tags.
for free tags or for
For veterans tags.
That's right. That's what I thought. Okay, just making sure. Okay, I think it makes perfect sense. We certainly want to celebrate the terrific work our veterans do, and I appreciate you bringing this important piece of legislation to us. Any questions from the committee members? Seeing none, I should call on some veterans to probably make a motion for this.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to pass.
I've got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, please say no. Passed unanimously. Best of luck in the Rules Committee, Senator Anderson.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, before we depart here, in your folders, please take a copy of our committee event coming up on March 10th, which is next week. Take that with you, put it on your calendar. Please get back to Mr. Will Spencer right here next to me so we can get a proper count for what that is. We'll look forward to seeing you there. Is there any further comments from committee members? My last comment is, I'm so glad, Veronica, that you are okay and here and using this testimony in your life to help other people. Bless you for doing that. I appreciate it. This meeting of the Senate Public Safety Committee is hereby adjourned. Thank you.